All right, so you can, of course, if I download and do this, I have to still be the one to send the video to you guys. So now we are talking about test color, and that is what we have done here. When we are talking about test color, this is how to write the CSS that handle test color. The test color is what? Blue in my own case, and that is why we have gotten this output of blue. Now, the next thing we are going to look at is the text size. Now, you see all the sizes we have here. Let me see if it's recording. Okay, it's recording now. You see all the sizes we have here, they are default size. They are default size. They are default size. This is a default H1 size. I can decide to increase. If you look at my own comfort developer, the size is a bit bigger than what we've got here. And I think the font family as well is different. So you can do all of that. So now we're going to start with font family before we move to font size. So here, making an inline, you can say font family, font family. Now, look at the list of what I have here. We have some list of font family here, which is an indication that this is a combination of three different fonts: the Korea New, Korea, and Monospace. And we have Franklin Gothic Medium, Area Narrow, and Area. We also have Gilsan NT, Calibri, and Trebuchet. We have Lucida Zan, Lucida, and so on and so forth. You can see that they are combination of different fonts. When you scroll down, you can see some more suggestions and the ones that are just single font. Now, when we talk about font family, we're talking about a family of fonts that have similar look. Korea New is a font. Korea is a font on its own, and Monospace is a font. It's more or less like we have a family, and in a family we usually have resemblance. So if someone is not available, then we look at another one. So I'm going to just choose Trebuchet. Now you can see that when I say font family, we have one, two, three, four, five, six different fonts. The essence of this thing is if your browser does not have the first one, your system will attempt to look for the second one. And if the second one is not available, attempt to look for the third one, attempt to look for the fourth one. If it's not available, attempt to look for the fifth one, and attempt to look for the sixth one. Out of the six fonts, one will definitely be available. But should in case you are using another browser does not support these six fonts, the browser will use its own default font. The essence of this is that they don't want the website, you don't want the website to look completely different when it's being filled by someone and it's being filled by another person on another browser. So that's the essence of having a font family. So I'm going to save my work and I'm going to go into, let's check the browser. Let's check what we've got here. So I have these fonts now. Font family, yes. So this is the font that I have now. Now, apart from font family, uh, you can look at font weight as well. Okay, let's look at font size now. Font hyphen size. So we are treating with font now. You have some sizes here that they are given to you by default. We have large, larger, medium. We can test all of it, but I can also specify a size. Let's say 18 pixel. Um, so I come down here and refresh. I see what I've got. Okay, I think I'm having some. Okay, let me go live. Let's see what. So you can see what I've got now. The font size has changed. While you can see it looks like to be a replica now. But my color looks a little bit different. So I'm going to change the font. I'll change the font to. I change the color. I'll go back to where I have my color. I can say 096. We are still coming back to fonts. Okay, it's FF rather. Sorry, 09F, which is 0099FF. So I have this color, which is color blue, and I have the color as well too. So that's about font. I hope you are getting So if you have questions, I'm trying to record the video as well. I've used font size. Now, there is something about text alignment. Uh, Now look at all these texts. By default, they are all aligned to the left. So we can say, we can decide to come back. Okay, let me come here and say text align. I can say style, text IV align. Text align is used to align our text. I can say center. So let's see the output. You can see that this text moves from the side to the center of the page. But in our design, we don't necessarily need it to be there. So I'm just trying to use that to explain. I can say left, which is by default, to the left side of my page, to the left side of my work. Everything is aligned to the left. And if I come down and say right, it's zoom and try to align it to the right side. So that's about text alignment. There are other text alignment that we're still going to be talking about, but that's just common ones that is common in Word. So I'll align to the left, and I'll look at my font as well. Uh, okay, the font size as well. Let's see if it's aligned. Now, okay, we have to increase the size a bit, but there's one thing I want to also notice here. I want you to notice that there is a space between this image. Of course, we have used something here. So we can say, now, look at this div. This is the div that holds the entirety of this site. You remember that we removed the color for that div. Um, Let me remove this. We don't need this. Okay, now want to let some space be in between this guy and this guy, and that take us to using either margin and padding. Okay, I'm trying to align ourselves. Mute yourself. Please mute yourself. I'm trying to record for you. Mute yourself, Oba, so that it can be clean. Yes, I'm trying to record some video of what we are doing. So now what we are going to do is, since this div, there is 50%, there is 50% here. You know, this is 50%, this is another 50%. So we can decide to either use this guy or use this guy. But we are going to have a challenge. Okay, let's now try to use this guy now. You say, if you say margin right, yes, we want some space to the right. You say 30 pixel. We are going to have, it's going to do something, but we are going to have problem. You can see that it has jacked this guy away from this thing, because when we had, since we have already said 50%, if you add any other thing to it, it is more than 50%, and the entire page is just 100%. So I'm going to just remove 50px. I will add 50px. Then I can reduce this size, because if you add 50px to 50%, it's more than 100%. So I can say, since you are adding 50%, give this guy 47. Let's see if 47 will work. So 47 is not working. Let's use 45. Good. 45 is working. And you can see the space. You know, this is 45%, and this is another space, and this is 50%. Now let's go to this text, this particular text. Let's try to align it. Now, if you look at this text is aligned to the left by default. I can say style, text align. I can say justified. Now you can see that this automatically justified this to be like a block form. If I say left again, you can see that it's aligned, and there are some spaces here. It does not align this thing. I can say justify, you can see that it tried to adjust this. So now we can go over and look at the font. We have another font here. Let's look at, I think this and this has a similar font, global, and we're also going to increase the font size of this guy. So I'm going to go back here, creating, I say text family. Oh, sorry, font family rather. So I'll use Trebuchet, Lucida, and Sans serif. You can say I have similar, it might not be 100%. Uh, I think that's not the font they use. But at the same time, we are having something different from what it used to be. It's a bit closer. It might not be exact one. Over time, if you have been familiar with some graphic design, you might understand, you might know text. For I can say font family, sorry, font size, I can say 24 pixel. Okay, I can say 30. 40. So if this space is too much, the space of 50 pixel, I can say 40. I want it to dress a little bit. I can say 30. So then as it's dressing, then I can increase this guy to something like of course 47. Let's see if it works. I've been able to adjust the size. I think I'm okay with this now. Now this text, this is we have been treating text now. And I hope we are getting familiar with the text now. So let's do more formatting. We've used text align, we've used font size, we've used font family, we've used color, we've used background, and we have used our CSS style as far as this class is concerned. So let's take a little bit, let's make our text bolder. Let's italicize some of our text, and let's use subscript and superscript. So now look at this, for example. Now we have this text. We can look at the color. We can decide to put B to make it bold. I'll take the equivalent closing tag. I'll take it to the end of this page. So let's say I want to bold part of the text. I can put it the equivalent, the B tag. Let's say I want to bold this side. I can paste it here. So in my own, you can see that I have lorem ipsum donut to be a little bit bolder than other text. That's how to bold text. And there's another tag called strong. Now, strong is like you are making a text to be important. They have similar. They actually have similar stuff with bold. You might not even see, but what text is doing is like making a text more important. So they have similar outlook. So I can decide to italicize some lines. Let's say I want to italicize some lines like this. I can come down to my text and say, this is me. I want to italicize this text, and I'll put my equivalent stuff here. You can see that this side of my text is italicized. So we have another tag called emphatic, emphasize. Emphasize and italicize has similar look as well. It's like we are laying emphasis. Sorry, I'm coming. I think there's a notification from the meet. Okay, we have 15 minutes to end this section, then we'll come back again. So we have EM, So our close equivalent EM here. What we are trying to do is we are formatting our text. So we have EM. So let's look at what we've got here. It's refreshing. This is italicized and this is emphasize. It's laying emphasis on a text. They have similar look. We have other ones that we call mark. Mark can be used to mark. Okay, there's a tag called mark, and let's say we are trying to mark. It will just put a line on the selected text in between the opening and the closing tag. Okay, I don't think I've saved that. I want this guy to be marked. So it should be in between this and this. So you can see like you are using a pen marker. So we have some other thing like you want to make this text small. You can make this text small. Let me see. Forget. I'm trying to see. Forget. Look at the text here. The text here that I've highlighted is a bit smaller because of that mark. And we have other ones like delete, of which we can also do that. I can highlight this guy and say delete this guy. You can see this is delete. This is delete. And also we can have, apart from delete, we have insert. I hope you are getting, are we on the same page? So we have insert. So it's an indication that we are inserting this particular text and to our page. And the last two one, which is common, I'm going to use it in another one. Let me add another paragraph. Uh, we have int. Yeah, I'm going to, I can say 23, or I can duplicate it. Now we have this to be SUP. This is superscript. So it's in this case we are putting this is used majorly in mathematical function. Uh, one no 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 no, two. Okay, we have superscript and we have subscript. These two, the one is for superscript, that will be raised to power, which is 23, and the last one is what? Subscript, which is in base. So those are ways by which you can format our text. I hope we get that correctly. So that will be because I really want us to finish some part of this now so that I can give you an assignment. Because you have today, you have tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday to do something for me. All right. So by doing that, I want you to do something meaningful for me. So now that we are done with this, we have used some of the formatting stuff that we've got, both superscript and subscript. The next thing we are going to do. Do you have a question before I continue? Hello, do you have question? Now, so what we have done now is we have been able to do some small thing, but I now want us to look at a proper structure of how to build web page. Now, let's take a look at this comfort developers as an example, as a case study. So, what we have here at the top here, you can see my mouse. This header section looks to be like it's divided into something like there's a box here, there's another box at the top, and there's another box at the top. So I'm looking at. I want to draw. I want to draw. Okay. Uh, Today's class will be 2 hours. Uh, okay, let's look at this sniping tool, for example. Now, the structure we have looks to be like something I should be able to draw. Okay, it looks to be something like this. What is it? Oh, sorry. I think I should use something like paint. Now, that structure that I mentioned looks to be something like we're having a structure like this. There's something like this. Don't mind my this. I'm just trying to do a rough estimate. So we have something here, which is the first one that holds the logo. Then we have another one like this. I hope you understand what I'm trying to do. Hello, do I have people in the meeting? Can you see my screen? Okay. Now this looks to be something. Don't mind my hand. My hand is not that straight. It looks to be something like this. This guy, right? So, but when you want to form the structure, so when we want to form the structure, we have to first sit down and look at what's the feasible way, what's the physical way to do something like this. Now, the physical way to do something like this is to new don't save. Now is to look at our design structurally and form different divisions for it. So now the first thing is there seems to be a model that house everybody. That's our first div. So do I have something like can draw rectangle for me here? Okay. Now there seems to be something that holds everybody, which is like a div. And inside that div, uh, there seems to be something that holds everybody, which is like a div. And inside that div, where is my paint? So I don't know how to use paint too. I'm just trying to see if I can play around it. There seems to be a division like this that holds everyone. So I don't know if this will work. Okay. Now inside this div, there seems to be another div. There seems to be another div that uh, sorry, I don't know how to do it that. Um, I think the thing is hanging now. We'll get it right now. I just want us to understand the structure before I start writing the code for it. So if you have a rectangle, so we're going to use rectangle all through. There seems to be a div like this that holds everyone. And inside that div, we have another div that holds, of course, we can bring it on it, that holds the logo side. We have another div that holds the top menu side, making how many div now? Then we have another div that holds this side. So I'm just drawing it so that you can. So generally now I have 4 division, but okay, let me delete this one. But when we look at our designs, we just discover that it seems to be that there's something here and here, so that there's another thing here and here. So that means in this already we have 1, 2, 3 div now, 4 with the mother that holds everything. Now there will be 2 div inside this one. There will be another 2 div inside this one. There will be another 2 div, another div inside this one, another div inside this one. So let's look at it. Let's look at the breakdown now. Now we already have one. There's one that holds everything. That's the div one. So we are going to put the div one down. Okay, let me do this on my own index. I can, of course, I can delete everything I have here. I can say, okay, I have the first div. Welcome to Convo Developers. So I have my first div, which holds everyone. The width of that div is 100%. I just want to do it 100%. Yes, I'm giving it background color. Yes. So let me see the height. The height, let me say 80 pixel. Let me say, okay, 100. So if I come down here, I'm trying to break it down because you guys are going to build your own, and I'm still going to give you another one you are going to work with. There's going to be a lot of works. So let's see the how to. So I have this now. Now there is something you will see inside this header div. You see something here that there seems to be a white space at the top. So all you just need to do is go to your code inside your head. This is internal CSS style. You say body. We are still coming to the, but just do padding 0, margin 0 pixel, then border. Okay, just leave padding and margin 0. You understand? So this is what we've got here. So I have my div here. If you look at Comfort Developers now, this seems to be like something here from here to here. But I think this is more than 100 actually. So let's make this guy 120. I'm just putting that, but normally its own is white background. So I'm just putting that so for you to see what I'm trying to do. This is not the work, this is the work. So let's say this is my height now. Oh, sorry, this is it. Let's say this is my height now. Now, so we have achieved our first div that holds everything. But inside there, we have a div here that sits here. Let's say that one is 30% and the next one is 70%, the other one. So that means we're going to have one here like 30% and we're going to have another one like 70%. So let's do that. So now this is the header div, and inside it is where we have the 2 div. So we have div like this, style width 30%, div style width is what? 70%. All right. So I'll just come down here and say logo area. So in that my own case, since this one is white, I'll just put FFF, and this one I'll say background color 009909F. So we have successfully put this, but remember that this div will not allow any div to sit by the side. So I can say background color just to demarcate it. Let me use this guy now. Background color to be okay. Let's use black for now. We'll change it back. Don't worry. Hold on. Okay, this doesn't have height. Because this background is white, it seems that it's not showing. So let's use red first. So now, because I did not have add height to this guy, in my own case, it's not even up to that. Maybe like 10% or something. So let's use 15%. 15%. Don't worry, when we get fully to responsive design, we'll know how to. This is 85. So background color. Now we have to add height. We have not added height to these two. 120 pixels too. These guys will have a height. 120 pixels. So now we've come to this. Okay. Now you can see that they are not sitting by the side because we have not added something that will allow them to sit by the side, which is float. For now, we'll be using float. I'll say float left, float right. So when you go to our code, perfect. It has taken 100%, and this is covering everything now. So, but we are going to remove the color now so that we can see what we're doing. So now the second one is where only what will be here will be logo. This is where we need to work. So I'm going to remove the background color, and by doing that, I know that I'm still going to divide this into two. So now, which is what I'm going to do now. Now, already set this side, and the one that holds the thing. So the next is I've set my own here. I've created one at the top here, and I've created another one at the bottom here. So in that case, inside this div is where you are going to create a div that holds the one at the top and another div that holds the one at the bottom. So which is two div now. Now we just need to style this one now. Yeah, let me see. We have this red. I don't need the red color again. So we are going to have div style with 100% height. We are going to use 40 pixels. You know, we are dividing it into two. Then we are going to come here again, style, 80 pixels. So those are the two things that we need. Then we need to specify color. Background color. This one will now take 006. While the other one, you can see what we've got now. While the other one will take white. This background color. So I have to terminate this one here. I think that's the complaint. So that takes us to what we've got here. But if you want to see if it really shows, we can add border 1 pixel solid. Just for test run, we can remove any of those things later. Then give it a color 000. That's black. You can see now that I have my design. So now inside this top one, we still have two layouts. Let's see it from Comfort Developer site. We still have a layout that holds from this guy to this guy, and also a layout that holds from this guy to this guy. So we're going to draw another layout that holds from this guy to this guy, and also another layout that holds from this guy to this guy. So in this one that has blue, that means we're going to press enter and have another two div. And in this one that holds this guy, it also have two division too. Div. This will be the menu area. And this will be the button. All right. So all we need to do is to style the two. This will be the address and phone number area. This is where we are going to have our link. So now the entire div, you can see the way you can see the way I'm tabbing this thing. So the space is there. So, and this is the one that holds the entire top side. So any question about that before we proceed? So the next is just for us to adjust this thing. So what I'm trying to explain is you have to first understand the structural layout of a page before you jump into the design. You have to say, okay, what will make it easy for me if I'm to just lay this page out. So let's proceed further. So this guy doesn't have width. I can just say, since this is, I can style it and give it width. Since we have, I can say 70%. Yes, 70%. I can say style. $70 and 30%. So it will look at 70 and 30% of the container. But don't forget that div will not allow others to sit by side. You have to continue using your float. Then the float, right? Can you see my own? Now, one more thing. The text is standing, but it's not at the center. It's standing, but it's not at the center. So you can use your padding to control that. We already have height of 40%, 40 pixel. So if I say padding top 10 pixel, and here I say padding top 10 pixel. Don't worry, we'll see more about it. You can see that we are having a problem. The problem we are having is that the height of these guys is already more than what we have. So padding top, I can just reduce this to 30. Well, I'm going to explain the details of box model later. Okay. Okay, that's just okay. Let's just leave it for now. Don't let me overstress your knowledge now. Okay, let's look at it like this for now. We'll go more and explain more about this. Submit ticket. The text here should be all the text here. So we can command this guy that, you know what, I want all the color to be black. So we have this. Then we can also tell this guy that style width should be what? 70%. And come back here and say, of course, don't forget that you have to float it, or else it will not allow element to sit by the side. Style width 70%, or 30%. 70 plus 30 is 100. So I have this submit ticket. Of course, this is a button, so I can say I can continue styling it like that until we achieve our aim. So we'll come back to that, but I'm just trying to explain. So you also do all these things that I've done to know that you are getting the logic of where we are doing. So let's go on with our HTML class. So you can see the way I've been using all these things together just to achieve this particular aim. So if I want to add my logo, of course, I'll come back here and use my img. I can say img src. Of course, it's trying to look at, do I have logo? I don't have logo, I only have cars. Car.jpg. I'll just change it car.jpg. You copy your logo and put it there. Okay. In my own case, it should be asset. So you can see my logo now. All right, so let's continue our code. So the next thing is after we have formatted our text, we have done that. I just chip in this for us to understand. So we have HTML tag that we call codes. So I think we are working on this for our class. So I'm already giving you an assignment of what to do. So if you look at this, for example, we have completed the first batch, which is the header section. The next one is the image section here. You can just put an image now. For now, just put an image and let the image width. So you are going to have a div 100% and you're going to add an image inside. So when you get here, you break it into two. I think I've explained the part from this side on this About Us page. So let's go ahead and let's in HTML, we have what we call quotations and citation of elements. Quotation and citation of elements. Don't worry, you have the video, you can rewatch it. And after the class, definitely if you rewatch it after the class, you are going to get just watch it after the class, and you can use it to build your own as well. I'm trying to maximize our time. So we have what we call codes. We have block codes. So let's say, for example, I'm having uh, something simple like this. We're having a paragraph, and I say, remember the rule, always use capital letter. So if I have, here is a code by computer scientist. So I can have block code. Now, block code has an attribute, all right, that we call cite, like a citation. So you can put wherever you are getting the citation from. Everything you have here is more or less to be like a block code. So, and this is the citation. This is where you actually get the information from. And I put a paragraph here, and this could be like a footer of the name of that scientist. So if I save my work now and I go back to this, and of course, this is what I have. Okay, sorry. Let's check this. You will discover that I have this to be like a citation. And it's because I actually added it inside the div. I can decide to bring it, I can decide to bring all of these things out and make it somewhere here. So I have to go down and see what I've got. This is the title. This is like a citation. You can see that there's a space in between where the main content starts and where the block code content starts. Also, we have a tag called the Q tag. It's a shorthand. It's a short quotation. The Q tag is like a short quotation. So usually have a kind of quotation mark around. I was not the one that had this quotation mark. So you can also add, oh, sorry. I was the one that had it, not. So if you have a paragraph and you have some content inside, this is the quote. So I decide to put my Q here. So instead of adding your quote yourself, you can use this guy, this Q tag. You can see use the quotes. So that's how to use quotes in HTML. We have another HTML tag called ABBR, which is an abbreviation. We have, like, for example, now you have your P tag. What the WHO is giving out free health. The WHO is giving out free health. So I can say ABBR, then WHO will be my ABBR. I bring WHO here, but this ABBR has an attribute called title, and the title is, let's say, what Health Organization. So let's say the output. Now you can see that this ABBR has line under, and when you over and stay on it, it will bring the full interpretations of what the abbreviation means. That is World Health Organization, depending on what you have in the title. I think we've done similar thing. We're using title the other time, but this one is abbreviation. So we also have an HTML address. So address tags define the contact information. Let's say, for example, you are having address and you have U16, Joke Plaza, Bodija, Ibadan. All right, so I can decide to add a BR, like you are breaking the line. So this is an address, and when it's being rendered, you will know that it's an address because it will italicize it, and that's what an address do. We have other that we call citation, like when you are getting the title of a work from someone, um, you can cite the person that the book is by. This is also let's say we have a paragraph, the book, gifted hands by what is the name of the author? You can say what's the name of the author of that book? Okay, let's say Akin. I've forgotten the name of the owner of the book. Akin Abolade. So you can have the site like this. Something is wrong with my site. You can see how it highlight this, like you are citing this particular guy. So I hope we are getting what I'm explaining. So now we have what we call bidirectional override. BODO stands for bidirectional override. By default, a text has what we call default direction. And for example, if you have a paragraph and you have this is text direction, of left to right. Now you can decide to add BDO to this guy, BDO, which can take the direction of the text. So it has an attribute, directory, has RTL, that's right to left. So if you scroll down and see, you can see that it has changed it. So now your this text come down here. It looks like a mirror. It's just like a mirror. And we have LTR, that's the normal left to right, and we have RTL. So something like this can be used to design an Arabic website. Let's look if you can get any Arabic website. Yes, you can get an Arabic website. if they actually use bidirectional. No, they don't use bidirectional. But most Arabic write from the right to the left. So if you are building something like that for them, you can do for anybody that let's look at this. So they write from this side down to this side. Let me see if learning Arabic. They actually write here. You can see they actually write from this side down here. So they actually write like this. That's how an Arabic. So they can use bidirectional in platforms like creating an Arabic website. So that is on that about using HTML quotation. So we also have what we call HTML comments. I've actually started using HTML comments, but comments are just used. Let's say this is just a comment. Now you can see this now. This is how to write an HTML comment. Now it's good when you are using an HTML, when you are writing a code to always put comments. Comment helps you to understand your code in case of future use. In case of future use, it's a good habit when you comment your code because when you come back later, you might not really understand why you do a particular thing because as you build project upon project, year upon year, you will discover that there is need for you to start commenting your project. As you write more codes, you will see that there is higher tendency that you forget some of things you wrote like 2 or 5 years ago. But comment helps you and assists you to understand what you have done at a particular point. And that's why using a comment should not be something just just opening the this is the opening tag of the comment. Put your comment here. Usually it comes in green and the equivalent closing tag. So it will not come out together with your code. This is an HTML comment and it's not going to come out with your code. So just like we are hiding some part of the code. And if you want to have multiple line, you can just enter anything you had in between. This is second line. Of the comment and so on and so forth. It can be a single line, it can be multiple line and so on and so on. So can use it to communicate to programmers or whoever is reading your code. Like probably they want to contact you if someone is using any code that you have written on the internet and you want them to contact you in the nearest future. If you have a problem, you can just add your phone numbers, your name, and your email address. Most common is email address. You can add them at the with the comment. When anybody is reading the code, they can easily see your email and message you. So that's how we use comments. So any other thing. So let me just give you this. Let me allow you to practice because you have not really been practicing since. It's almost 1 hour been recording now.